The cold hit him before he even realized it. Not the gentle morning chill, but sharp, gnawing cold that stole the air from his lungs. His fingers felt like ice, his boots heavy with mud, and every step made his heart hammer in his chest. Darkness had swallowed the forest, but he could hear it all, the rushing water somewhere below, leaves brushing against each other like whispers, and the silence that was almost louder than anything else. He gasped, trying to catch a breath, but the air was thin and wet, clinging to his throat. His body trembled, not just from cold, but from the raw, unfiltered fear of being utterly alone. He reached for a tree, only to feel it sway under his weight, threatening to send him sliding again. He had seconds, maybe less, to figure out a way out. Every heartbeat felt like a countdown. But this didn't start here, the day had begun normally. Daniel, 27, a photographer from a nearby town, loved the isolation of inland forests. That morning, the sun had barely pierced the canopy. Dew glistened on the leaves, and birds chirped lazily. He had his camera strapped tight and a small backpack with water and snacks. Today, he told himself, he'd find the untouched streams tucked between hills, images nobody else had captured. He felt calm. He felt ready. He had no reason to expect danger. The first warning was subtle. A small creek, just a trickle over stones. He stepped on one that was slick with moss. His boot slipped. The tree he grabbed broke halfway, and suddenly he was tumbling down a slope, mud and leaves scratching his arms, boots flailing. He hit a hidden ravine where water had pooled. The current was weak, but enough to drag him deeper into the shadows. Panic surged, and for a moment, his mind froze. But the body responds in strange ways. Heartbeats slowed slightly, subconsciously, to save oxygen. Shock dulled the pain enough for him to focus. Adrenaline coursed through him, hiding exhaustion, sharpening his senses. Every instinct screamed, move, hold, survive. Hours passed. He tried to climb out, only to slip again, each attempt scraping raw skin and leaving bruises. Hunger and thirst gnawed at him. Fingers stiffened. Feet went numb. And yet, he noticed things he hadn't before, the way the roots of a tree jutted from the slope, how the moss could act as grip, a small ledge above him barely visible in the dim light. Every small observation was a lifeline. By nightfall, the forest had become a labyrinth. Shadows morphed into imagined threats. The wind through the trees sounded like whispers warning him away. He had fallen multiple times. His body was screaming to stop, but somewhere deep inside, a stubborn pulse refused. A part of him realized, survival isn't about comfort, it's about refusing to surrender, one careful step at a time. Midnight brought a turning point. Exhausted, sitting on a narrow ledge, he almost gave in. He closed his eyes, listening to the forest and his own ragged breath. For a moment, he felt like it was over. But then he noticed a faint glimmer, light filtering through branches, moving. It was faint, almost imagined. But hope, fragile and flickering, sparked. He called out, voice barely a whisper. The light became clearer. Shapes moved, rescuers, carrying lanterns. Doubt lingered. Could this really be happening? Step by step, he inched toward the sound. His legs burned, hands bleeding, every muscle screaming. But the human body is resilient. Even exhausted, it continues if the mind refuses to stop. Finally, hands gripped him, strong and real. He was lifted from the wet, cold floor of the ravine. The warmth of blankets, the smell of dry firewood, the gentle voices, all surreal. His body had endured hours in cold, mud, and near exhaustion, but it was his mind, his will, that had truly kept him alive.